All right, you guys. So welcome to Maui Business Podcast. So my name is Devin Atkins, host of Maui Business Podcast. Today I have Duke here with Sparky. So pretty much first question I have for you, Duke, is where are we located and how long have you been in operation at this location?
My name is Duke. Last name is Sparks. We're located in Kahului at 385 Hawaiian Street. Right next to Lee Bear. If you guys get lost, kind of in the Kahului industrial area. We've been in business for about 8 years now.
Yeah. This is your guys' only location too, huh?
No, we actually have a second location in Lahaina.
Oh, in Lahaina?
Yeah, in the Canary Mall area.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're actually opening up in the next 2-3 weeks in Kihei.
Oh, nice.
It's
You guys are standing, and they're all food trucks?
2 food trucks for Lahaina and Kihei.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our main base is, of course, in Kahului.
Yeah.
You know, but we got some exciting news. In 2026, we should be opening another brick and mortar.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to release that
Not
too much
disclose the
information
location?
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
That's good.
But yeah, we're working on it.
Cool. So you already have been expanding in the past 8 years.
Yeah. We've been busy, bro.
It's good. Yeah. How has the community in Lahaina been? Like opening up that location, has it been supportive? I mean, have you guys been helping out? Like, how have you guys been contributing over there?
Right. You know, shucks. You know, I remember this day very vividly. August 8th. You know, I have a lot of friends and family in Lahaina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we found out about the fires and, you know, people were getting trapped, you know, we seen a couple of videos on social media where people were laying flat face down, you know. I remember that night vividly. You know, my supervisors, my staff came home, and, you know, I called a meeting at like 10 p.m. at night. You know, and I told them, you know, we're gonna do something about this. The very next day, we started at 5 a.m., closed on operations for a whole week. You know, and we sent out in the first 2 days about 15,000 meals.
Jeez. To help. Just
you know,
flood
just
them.
Flood them. You know, thank the Lord that we had some connections. You know, trying to getting in. Of course, we're not going to name any names with that connection, but you know, getting into Lahaina, giving these people, you know, who are stranded out there, you know, fresh hot meals.
Good meals too.
Good meals. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, we're a food company, so that's what we do best. You know, we were one of the first hubs to open up. We actually opened up that morning, August 9th, 5 a.m. in the morning. We opened
Serving
up this
meals.
hub. We had this restaurant filled to the top of the roof, bro.
Jeez.
You know, we were just having pallets come in and out. You know, people were just dropping off. You know, we just wanted people to drop off here because we had that escorts that we could take in a convoy of just food, water, you know, like gas, whatever we needed. So we ran that for about a good week here, to where, you know, and the best thing about it is when we actually opened back up a couple of months ago in Lahaina, the Lahaina community remembered what Sparky's did.
Yeah, that's good.
So they came out and supported it major, bro.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so one thing, if you guys don't live here and you've never been to Hawaii, like, it's one thing to understand the culture, but like when something traumatic like that happens, it was a game changer for like just all the people that came together. I mean, even in the States, right? But like if you lived here in Hawaii, in Maui, you saw the floods of support. So that's one thing that I love about Hawaii and living here is just the support and just seeing all that. It was just a game changer. It made me feel at home, right? Knowing that there's people that care more about themselves than just, you know, care more about themselves. So that's a little 2 cents on, like, you know, the experience that I felt from the fire. So so with that being said, what is your background? How did you get into this?
Yeah, you know, as a young adult, you know, of course we did the whole college trip. You know, we had too much fun. Yeah. You know, but I got my certificate in residential real estate. Sorry, it was that long ago. It was called the ARMS, Accredited Residential Managers Program. Okay. So I went through that program. I went to Phoenix University to get that license and stuff like that. And I came home to Maui in 2012, and the recession was still kind of hitting pretty hard at the time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How old are you?
35.
35?
36
okay.
this year.
Got
Yeah. So when that recession happened, like I came home to Maui and no one was hired. Everyone was like, "Bro, you need a degree on a degree on a degree to get hired," kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. So there was my older brother was in law enforcement, so he was in actually corrections, and he told me, "Dude, calm down, bro. Corrections is always hiring."
Yeah.
Like,
with no diploma, huh?
No
certificate.
with nothing. No one wants to work here.
Yeah.
So like, you know what? I got, why not? I'm young, ready to go. Let's go. So I got into corrections in 2012, and I did corrections all the way to 2017. So about a good 5 years in corrections. During this corrections thing, I was kind of like, wow, this is not the storybook ending of my life.
You didn't feel like that role was right.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. You know what I mean? I felt like I was a great correction officer.
You're pretty intimidating.
Yeah. and honestly, back in that day, back in my early 20s, that was fun. It was really fun. Yeah.
That's good.
But then also in the back of my head, I got bored of the job, to where I was like, bro, this is definitely not what I had in mind. No one, growing up, when you go to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, I say, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
No one ever picks a correction officer.
It's true. I don't know. You know anybody?
Everyone picks a firefighter or police
an astronaut
officer
or something. Yeah.
Something fun. No one will ever pick a correction officer. But, for me, I was kind of like, this is just, I got to figure something out. Like, I'm bored. I'm not going to rot in this place and get old. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I want more. I want something more. So, we kind of dabbled into some multi-level marketing businesses, of
like
course.
Amway and kind of.
It was actually called Shackley. So it's like Amway's like counterpart, I guess you can say. Yeah. So we did Shackley, and bro, honestly, me and my wife, we did really good. In the first 3 months, we became top 10 in sales. Crazy, bro. Top 10 in the nation. We got major awards, and honestly, for me and my wife, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you guys have any sales experience, sales background?
No sales background at all.
That's good.
At all, bro. We just, the thing about my wife, she was super strong in the back office, and of course, I was the guy that let's secure this. Let's do this. But we did really good in that. What made us stop is just we kind of, after a while, it gets stale too. It's like, for me, I believe, in motivating myself other than motivating other people. So like how the multi-level marketing works is you got to create a team. You got to motivate those teams. Like you got to give the extra mile.
Yeah.
But then, early in that years, I kind of understood entrepreneurship. I started to kind of get my own feel of entrepreneurship to where, you succeed on your own and you fail on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as a multi-level marketing company, you definitely need other people to help you succeed. And that's just how a multi-level marketing company world works.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm tired of being Dr. Phil.
No, you don't have to explain that.
Yeah. I'm tired of being that guy. But, so we dabbled in that, and like I said, we did really good. So we kind of started to dabble in other businesses, and we started to get really, really involved in entrepreneurship to where I was like, we gotta figure something out. So as a kid, I used to be very heavily involved with church. Of course, all of us probably, was heavily involved into church. And I remember our church, we did a lot of fundraisers because the pastors was raising the money to build a bigger church. So growing up as a kid, my parents, my mom and dad, they pretty much were like the head the fundraising committee, I guess you can say. So we did everything you can think of, when it came to food, like baked goods, major food. But what really stuck out for us was our authentic Hawaiian food. So like our lau, Kahului pig, like all of that kind of stuff. Of course, because, my family comes from the background. So as kids, we always wanted to play, but we never could play. We needed to help. We always got to help, wash dishes, all the crappy jobs. Yeah,
the non-fun stuff.
Yeah, no adult wanted to do this job, so they sent the kids, of course. But so we were, I was raised around food my whole life, and I definitely didn't go to school for culinary arts, at all. That definitely wasn't. That wasn't in the vision of my future, my life. But it came down to the point where we started. My older brother kind of started doing this whole smoked meat thing. And he was the major guy on Maui at the time that were doing smoked meat. And how that came about is one of the uncles gave us his recipe, but we totally screwed it up. But a screwed up recipe became our recipe.
But it was a good recipe, huh? Yeah.
That recipe started this multi-million-dollar company.
Jeez, there you go. So, I mean, it's okay to make mistakes in your entrepreneurship journey, right? I mean, he got a recipe from an uncle that he was saying, right? And they messed it up, and that mess up became someone else's treasure. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So that's good. You guys do not worry about failing in your business, right? Failure is part of the process. Like we fail doing these podcasts sometimes. You guys should see all the edits that we're going to make on these videos. But it's all about the journey and the process, right? So I commend you for failing, right? And making a multi-million-dollar business out of this. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you guys don't be afraid to fail in business, right? It's part of the game. It's part of learning. Anything else?
100%. Don't be afraid to fail. Honestly, everyone. There's a lot of questions that come up. Yeah,
a lot.
How did you make it? How did you become so successful? How fast did you make the money? That's like one of the biggest questions, where a lot of people ask me. That's always like,
it's an 8-year process.
It's never how fast. It's the journey. And everyone's like, what do you mean by that? I was like, the journey teaches you everything you need to know.
When you need to know it.
Especially when it comes to the time when you make money. Like making money is one thing, but keeping money is another thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean to disrespect anybody or say anything wrong in this sense, but it just comes down to mindset. You definitely need to transition your mindset from a mediocre mindset to now a mindset that can control the money that was made.
Yeah.
A lot of people fail in that area.
They don't take responsibility for the money at the end of the day. Like the mindset, like one, think bigger, right? I think that is the biggest downfall for a lot of people. Yeah.
Always evolve.
Yeah, like I had someone tell me a long time ago, and he was an old guy. He's no longer alive anymore, but he told me, he's like, once you set one goal, set another one and keep going. Don't even stop, right? Just keep going.
I like to tell people, be 10 steps ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, there's a book by Patrick Bet David, Your Next 10 Moves or Your Next something like that. That's a good book. I recommend reading that too.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad too, guys, if we're talking about books. Read that book just because. Just because.
Yeah.
It may help you, it may not. It helped me.
Yeah. No, that book is a good mindset change if you're getting into entrepreneurship. Like that book just makes you look at assets and it just changes your mindset. So I encourage looking into that.
Don't chase the money, guys. Chase the dream.
Yeah, and the journey. Yeah, it's all part of it. Like doing this, setting up, getting to meet Duke, and like the whole process and making connections with people. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's what makes business go around, right? Connections, relationships. So cool. With that being said, would you recommend someone getting into the restaurant business?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Definitely the restaurant business and the food industry business is probably the hardest business ever. And if you're not responsible enough to balance your margins, you're gonna fail as fast as you started. That's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah.
When it comes to the food. And then yes, because it's so rewarding. And I'm not talking about money. That's yes, it's a bonus.
It's minor, yeah.
It's a bonus. But what's so rewarding is when you see people eat your food and they just have a smile from ear to ear. You know you did something right. And come on, who doesn't love food?
Bro, I love your guys' poke nachos.
Those
are fire.
Straight up fresh fish. We
the chips are unique too.
Yeah, and the
I don't
chips,
know what you guys do with the chips, but
it's just straight up wonton mint chips, and we cut it, fry it up, boom. Everything's fresh to order. Like you get the chips fresh, you get the poke fresh. Everything is mixed as soon as it gets ordered. You know what I mean? It's not sitting in marinade. It's not sitting in it's mixed right there. Everything's
on the spot,
and definitely not in the freezer. We cut it every morning.
Yeah.
We cut this fresh fish every morning.
Yeah, you guys should see all the food that was coming in this morning, man. There's tons of food. You guys, how many plates do you guys serve a day?
Brother, let's say, probably want to say, I can give you covers. We're doing maybe about anywhere from 300 to 500 covers a day.
Jeez. And covers are what, like a box, the closing? What do you mean by covers?
Yeah, shucks, you can take it in two ways. So people, so I've heard people say, a cover is like a table. So like you come with someone, and then I also heard people say a cover is like a plate lunch in a box, So you can take it in two ways, however you take it. But yeah, we're doing about 500 covers, and how I take it is like a city.
So 500 people, 500 customers a day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So easy, and we're super blessed, bro. We started off. I remember these days vividly, but yeah, we're blessed, bro.
Yeah, that's good. So if you guys are interested in getting in the restaurant business, that is his take on it. It sounds like a lot. My mom also runs a catering company on the mainland for weddings and stuff, and she works her butt off, and I know you do too. So think about that. But also, joining the entrepreneurship journey, you're going to be working more than a 9-to-5 job.
Oh, wow.
Like 100%. How many days?
Brother, when we first started this company, we were working 7 days a week, minimum 16 hours a day.
Yeah, mandatory.
Everyone wants the life of entrepreneur,
but
no one really understands the life of an entrepreneur. It's definitely a lot of sacrifices. If you don't go out there and get it, no one's gonna make it for you,
or hand it to you.
Or hand it to you. There's no sick leave. There's no PTO.
Yeah.
There's no vacation time. You know what I mean?
There's vacation time.
You take a vacation, but you won't get paid for it.
Yeah. And your business is suffering, right? Especially in the beginning.
Especially in the restaurant industry. It's a hands-on business. It's not a passive. It can be wholesale wise, but that's kind of later in the day.
Yeah. at the end when you're cleaning up.
In the evening, yeah. And it took me about 5-6 years for it to become passive.
Yeah, so it takes time, you guys. So the next question I have for you, what is unique about your business?
First of all, there's a lot of things unique about Sparky's. Down to our sign, but down to our culture, down to who we are, down to how I portray what us native Hawaiian people are about. I believe, that food is our culture. It's not just a drive-through at McDonald's. It's just a burger because I'm hungry. You come in here, you feel the culture. You really understand who we are as a people. And if we're gonna talk in terms as who we are is aloha. Aloha can mean hi, aloha can mean love, and that's who we are.
And food.
Yeah. And that's what food is. So when people come into this restaurant, I want them to look at it, and be like, wow, this is okay, and then just to pay homage to our kings and queens on the wall, and to our kupuna, and but also traditions to where, we sit down and we, just get together, really, really share aloha with the world, because that's just who we are, as a people.
Yeah.
So when people come into Sparky's, and what separates us from everything, you're gonna get that warm aloha spirit. The waitress or whoever's working the front of the house are gonna automatically stop what they're doing and look at you and be like, "Aloha, welcome to Sparky's."
Yeah, that's missing in a lot of businesses.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
A lot
super simple.
Super simple, but and that kind of comes down to our upbringing. That's who we are. We're not just in Hawaii creating food and slanging out food just to make a fast penny. We're here to give that experience. And that's the thing that Sparky's has, I believe, over every single restaurant on this island is that experience, that authentic Hawaiian experience. You know what I mean? Like, everyone can put Hawaiian on their signs. They can put Hawaiian on their food. They can do this, but do they really understand what they're promoting? Do they really understand the culture? Do they really understand the love and the mana'o behind? And I want to say about 98% of Maui don't understand that.
And they're just in it for
they're just I'm not going to name the food pod, but I went to a food pod the other night, and I sat there and we literally tried like 5 different food places. I knew the food was horrible. Of course, I'm kind of biased because I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. Yeah. But like, I know what's good and what's not good. Like, I mean, shucks, you give me €1, like, is the bread fresh or is that the one from Costco? Is this are you freshly cooking my chicken or is this chicken that was cooked 4 hours ago? You know what I mean? And then I bought a BLT chicken sandwich, and you can tell that it was straight from the freezer, straight to the fryer. There's just no love in it. And honestly, food
needs that.
You can tell. Food needs that.
That's one thing. So my mom, she's a chef, right? And she's the same way. Like, we can't even go anywhere without she knows how the food is cooked. She knows where it's coming from, what they're getting it for, and then how they're treating it, right? So I can relate to you in that sense of my mom's experience. Yeah. So good food is out here, and definitely Sparky's is good. Like, I've only had one meal here, but the poke nachos was enough for me to be like, let's hit them up for a podcast. Right? Once again, appreciate those. Brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right. So next question I have for Duke is, what are some of your future plans? I know we touched on a couple of things. What's the 10-year horizon look like for you?
Well, definitely hope we're retiring by then.
Yeah.
For sure. No, but shucks, we have a vision, and like I said, we continue to evolve every single day. Future plans, I mean, something that you can expect out of Sparky's, we're definitely going to be expanding our Kahului location.
Yeah.
We're going to have liquor in our restaurant.
That's going to be a big, that's going to be a big plus for the restaurant.
We're working on that as of we speak, and we actually have, we just finalized bottling our first bottle, our first sauce, the hurricane sauce.
Nice.
So the poke nachos that you like. So we actually we just sent it over to Japan a couple of months ago. So it's in the Japan markets right now. We're getting a lot of good feedback on it. We're getting a lot of
like for testing for
no, it's
producing.
It's done. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been testing for the past 2 years.
Oh, geez.
So we can actually this hurricane sauce can sit on a shelf life for a year. Yeah, so it's pretty legit.
How much is a bottle?
It's $10 a bottle. I believe it's a 12-ounce bottle for now. Right? Yeah, for now.
There's gonna be such a high demand for it. We gotta raise the prices, right?
Definitely. But yeah, so we did it the right way when it came to this bottle. We wanted to. I didn't want to just put it in small mom and pop shops. I wanted to put it in Costco. So it definitely took us a 2-year process. And like I said, nothing comes overnight, bro. Success doesn't come overnight. Things take time. With the liquor license, we're over a year working on that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely that's some expansions that we're doing. By the end of 2026, we should have about 4 to 5 locations of Sparky's here in Maui.
Nice. All over, huh? Every spot, every prime spot, huh?
Every prime spot. And we got some other things in the making that I won't share. When it comes to Sparky's, But yeah, that's pretty much our expansion plan for now.
Now, what have been some of the challenges that you faced getting, I guess, the bottles, right? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, right, which was the liquor license.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm sure there's other people that want to know about that process. So
of course,
you
100.
can hone in on that a little bit.
So when it comes to the bottling, you definitely have to go through testing.
Mm-hmm.
What you mentioned earlier. Yeah. You would have to have a food science, a food scientist pretty much going through your testing. And there's one in Honolulu. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on her name. I forgot her name. If you need it, send me an email, or a message or something, and I'll get you that name. Mm-hmm. But she does your labels. She does your pretty much small testing to get into like mom and pop shops. Mm-hmm. But the real testing is done in the mainland. Mm-hmm. You want to send a sample, a sample bottle, and they go ahead and test it, and they test it as long as nothing grows on it. Mm-hmm. as long as it doesn't transform. You know what I mean? Just to get your shelf life. And in order to go into those big corporation stores such as Costco, you need a good shelf life.
Is there a minimum shelf life?
Minimum 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
Okay, that's
minimum
good to know.
6 months shelf life.
Good to know.
And it's a long process. But honestly, it's a long process, but it's not expensive. Mm.
To get into the retail stores and test it, right?
Well, to do your testing and to get your bottles to get your product good to go to sell into retail. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's not an expensive process. It's definitely a time-consuming process. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot. It's actually a really easy process
to get in.
Once you figure out what needs to be done, of course, but like anything else, bro, you just gotta go out there and get it. You gotta no one's gonna hand it to you. Like you just go and do your research, like how you do your research about some new board shorts that you're trying to buy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Come on, it's the same thing. Google is your friend, I guess.
Yeah, Google will help you. I mean, we got ChatGPT now. Like you can go to ChatGPT for things. If you're not doing something, I'm sorry. All the tools are there.
You have Alpha Indigo, brother. You have AI at its finest. If you can't just talk into your phone and find out what AI has to say, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, you need to just quit. No, just kidding. No. Okay, and then the other thing was the liquor license. I know that's a challenge, right? Is it a challenge just because it's Maui and how long it takes? Because, permitting process with real estate, it's the same, it takes a while.
100% it's a challenge. It's definitely a very tedious process. So tedious that you can do a whole binder about 3-4 inches thick, only for you to go to a hearing and they throw your stuff out.
Yeah, that's discouraging.
And it's that tedious, but I totally understand why. A lot of people are upset with the whole liquor license process, but in actuality, I'm actually very impressed with it.
Because you're going through and you see how much they care, right?
Exactly.
The process,
and these liquor commissioners and liquor people here in Maui, they really care about the community. They really, of course, you guys know, liquor can cause a lot of bodily harm. Yeah. If it's consumed, over-consumed, or if it's, if you drive under the influence.
A lot of responsibility.
A lot of responsibility, exactly. And, I'm super impressed with the process, and me and my wife, actually, my wife is the all-star. She is amazing. She handles the back office. She handles the admin. She handles the liquor license.
So she's been carrying the weight of all that.
She's been carrying the weight, and and for her, it's like it's a challenge for both of us, because usually how people do it is they pay a lawyer $20,000 to $30,000 to do the liquor license for them. For us,
you didn't take that route.
We didn't take that route because we believe in, if we're gonna get it, we're gonna work for it. It's that journey.
It's worth it too.
It's worth it. And not only that, is we understand the ins and out about liquor. So I'm a strong person in the community. I love my community. I love Maui. I love everything that has to do about Maui.
Yeah.
This is my home. I was born and raised on this island. I definitely want to keep it safe. and alcohol definitely can be a major factor in carelessness, unresponsibleness, and having that process that is so hard for you to get your liquor license is kind of a good thing, because then everybody would have their liquor license,
and people can just ruin people's lives and stuff like that. Yeah. That's cool too. Like for Duke to say that, right? Like that he didn't want to pay the 20 grand, even though I'm sure you have it sitting around, right? You have the 20 grand to pay for something like that, but you guys wanted to learn the process and go through it yourself so that you understand it. Because so you can dot your I's and cross your T's, or whatever that saying is, right? So you can make sure that you're providing a quality product, and definitely think that's going to be a huge benefit to you and your company for sure. Liquor, I mean, I don't drink, but I know people love to drink. I know.
People love to have a good time here in Hawaii.
Yeah. If you've never been to one of these concerts or anything like that, you should go. They definitely enjoy. Or even going to the beach on some of the holidays. People party.
That's the thing to do with people nowadays. They just party.
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea, but
yeah. We're going to supply a way for you to enjoy that. All right, guys. So the next question I have for Duke is, with all the successes you had, right? A lot of people, one thing you touched on a little bit was keeping the money, right? What are some ways that you're using the money that you've made to keep and invest and like just help out, right? Like what are some of those things? I know you talked about Lahaina, supporting them, but what else have you done? I know there's more things that you've done.
Yeah, definitely. When we opened up this company, me and my wife, we were both student athletes, and one of our major goals, when we opened this company was, if we do make it, we're going to help out the student athletes here in Hawaii, especially in Maui.
Yeah.
So how we give back, because we're in the food industry, we do a lot of fundraising for a lot of student athletes. We did down to base, sponsored baseball, basketball, football, and hula halals. We try our best to always continue to give back to our community, no matter what, because our community keeps us above float. Because of them,
supportive,
they're really supportive towards us. So how can we give back towards them? Of course, we can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
We can't give back every single day. We can't, but how do we give back is we try our best to give back at least once quarterly to a nonprofit organization or a sporting event. I believe the last one was we actually sponsored MPD. We sponsored MPD. They have a law enforcement tournament coming up, and we sponsored them with their jerseys. A recent fundraiser we did, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, we did it for a Tahitian halal, where they were raising funds to go off island, of course, to compete, and represent Maui. So we're definitely putting in, on top of trying to raise my family, I have a son that's 5 and a daughter that's 4. We're definitely trying our best, definitely doing our best to continue to support the community for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the biggest thing too, is supporting the community. That's why we do these podcasts, right? Because we know, this Maui Business Podcast, like that's what we're about, is wanting to help the community, helping the local business 100%. Owners, because you guys help the community, right? And then we all come together, and all just a big synchrony.
And one thing I could say about the local businesses, especially the small businesses, during this tragic events that just happened on August 8th, wildfires here in Lahaina. I'm just gonna say this blank, straight up. There was, your small business owners helped more than corporate America helped. Let's just say that. Yeah,
small business owners, and even just like the random Joe Smo helped out like a lot more. Yeah.
I don't know if that's podcast worthy, but it's truth.
Yeah.
It's just straight up truth. So yes, before you think about going to McDonald's, come stop at, go to Tin Roof, or I know you asked this question, where do where do you eat at, since you're so picky with where you eat? Place that I love to eat, and I definitely think you guys should go to Faithful Grinds, but the chopstick and onion is killer, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's I order that at least once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we said we're going there.
Yeah.
We're going there. We'll try it out.
And then the one more other thing that I always get is the French toast, bro.
The French toast.
Oh, bro.
Over there.
Bro.
It's good.
Yes, chopstick and onion and French toast, my thing.
Together?
I mean,
yeah.
you know, you gotta think about a French toast as your dessert now.
that's a good way to look at it.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, check them out. They're a small run business, and I think them, us, and I want to say like 2 other people. I think we're the only native Hawaiians that own a restaurant.
That are actually helping the community too. Yeah.
Like there's nobody else. I think only us 4 is the only 4 native Hawaiians that own a food establishment restaurant on this island. Yeah,
that's very interesting too. It means that, yeah. Well, there, yeah. Well, how can we help other local Hawaiians start up a local business or?
You know, brother. Honestly, I believe I look at life a little bit different. You know, we all started on the same pedestal. You know, we all started naked and afraid. We all came out of the womb naked and afraid. You know, everyone has the same pedestal. We all start at the same. Honestly, it comes down to choices. You know, people got to make choices. Whether you make a bad decision or a good decision, it's all a choice in the end. Yeah. You know, you decided to lay that blanket, so now lay in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm a really firm believer on that kind of stuff. Like, you know, you have the choice to change the trajectory of your family's outcome. Or you have the choice to become a total fucking loser. Yeah.
Or just sit around and work a 9 to 5, right?
You know,
I mean, the choice is yours.
Yeah, the choice is yours.
Yeah.
You know, so that's pretty much what
that's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the cookie crumbles for me, brother.
Cool. Well, and then I guess the next thing that I have for you, so with all your success, right, like when you invest, right, like what are you doing with that? Like how are you investing your money? Because I know keeping the money is a big thing. So how do you invest? So
my investments, of course, comes into real estate. You know, I am a firm believer that in order for our land to stay in our hands, you need to go out there and get it. You know, and I'm not here to disrespect anybody or anything, but you know, I hate that term that everyone uses, priced out of Hawaii. I hate it. Can't stand that, huh? I hate it with every ounce of my body. Everything that I have in my heart, in my na'au, like I just hate that word. You know, because it goes back to we have a choice. You know, it's your choice
to make it work, figure it out. Yeah.
If a boy can come from a homeless shelter and living on the beach growing up to becoming a multimillionaire, so can you. Yeah. Straight up. And only pono business. No shortcuts, no illegal shit. Straight by the books. You know. And that was a choice that I made. You know, that was a choice. And the reason why I made that choice is because of my upbringing, the journey. You know, my upbringing is, I never wanted to live like that. You know, I love my parents with all my heart. You know, they provided everything they could for us as children, as you know, me and my brothers and sisters. But I've also learned how to evolve. You know, that I didn't want that life. You know,
I'm sure you learned some bad habits too, right? And you had to break those,
definitely, and I definitely had to break those. You know, I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I didn't want to rent someone else's house and pay their mortgage while they continue to, you know, own this house. You know, I wanted to change the trajectory of my family. I wanted to change myself, and I could only control one thing, and that's myself.
Yeah, and your choices.
And my choices. Yeah. Yes. So how I invested my money is I believe on buying, as a Kanaka, as a native Hawaiian, I believe in buying my land back. You know, and then, you know, of course we get Kanaka that always tell me like, why should we buy our land back? It's our land. Like, unfortunately, brother, it doesn't work that way anymore. You know. But I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on the past. What happened in the past?
Take action.
When I could create my own future.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's huge coming from, I mean, obviously I'm not born and raised here, but I'm coming here from the mainland. I do see that a lot, and there's a lot that can be done just by simply making the right choices in the right direction. Choices. Like, I mean, you're a perfect example of someone who's done that, right? Being grown up here or raised here, and then seeing that and then saying, hey, making a definite decision, hey, I'm not going to let that happen for me, right? So you guys are watching this podcast episode, like, really take that in consideration. All it does is it comes down to your choices at the end of the day. And if you're wanting to invest in real estate like Duke and, you know, be a part of the movement, right? And just being a part of Hawaii, right? And the real estate game, like, follow Duke's lead, right? You
know, we definitely don't know everything, but we continue to learn every day.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I made a lot of wrong decisions, but it also created to make a lot of right decisions.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about the journey, and, you know, really understand. You know, really set goals. You know, set minimum 2-year goals. I like to set my goals every 2 years. Shatter that goal. Next goal, shatter that goal. Next goal, shatter that goal. You know, like, I like to do a 2-year set goals, and then I like to do a 6-month, a 1 year, and a 2 year. That's kind of how I run. I break it all down. I'm like, okay, 6 months, we got to get this done in 6 months. Okay, this thing has a 1 year sleep. You know, okay, I want to buy another property. I got 2 years to do it. Obviously, you know, if you guys understand what needs to be done, you know, you got to stay in a house for 2 years, or, you know, so on, whatever. You know, and that's the goal. You know, next thing you know, you own 1 property, you own 2 property. Next thing you know, you own 4, you own 6, you own 8. You know, it's just, you know, I'll go back to my favorite game in the whole wide world, Monopoly. We all played it. It taught me business that people could never teach me. Paying $40,000 to go to this little freaking seminar, I guess, in the mainland. You know, it's like, just go and buy a board. It's $20 at Walmart, and play that game. I promise you.
Over and over again.
Over and over, strategically. You know, my family hates playing that game with me. I'm the biggest shark in that game that you will ever find.
It's because your choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I tell my family knows this, and they hate it. I play to win. I don't play a game just to play a game.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a 5-year-old boy. If we're playing basketball, I'm whooping that ass. I'm not gonna let my son win. Because unfortunately, brother, life's not fair.
Yeah.
And life's not about getting handouts. I'm teaching him not to get handouts. If you're going to claim a victory, you claim it because you did it.
And you worked for it.
You worked for it. You got it.
All right, Duke. So thank you for being part of Maui Business Podcast. Appreciate you. So what is one other local business that you could recommend?
You know, TLC.
TLC, okay.
The limo company.
The limo company.
You know, they're the highest, you know, transportation company here in Maui. You know, the most professional. They've been in business for about 20 years now.
Okay, so they got the market.
They got the market. They definitely have, you know, they have great leaders, you know, which is my dear friend, dear brother, I call him, you know, Pearson Galicinao, and his family, the Galicinao Ohana, but they are as professional as it gets. And I highly recommend, you know, that everyone goes and takes a look at him. You know, he's a great guy. He'll take his shirt off his back for you.
Yeah.
You know, he's a really, really great guy. Really, really professional at everything that he does. And, you know, I actually have another company, Shaka Detailing.
Shaka Detailing. I can always use good detail.
Yeah. You know, native Hawaiian operated and owned. Same as TLC, sorry. You know, but this company was actually my partnership company when it came to the wildfires. And this company continues to give back to the community every single day. and they still have their hub open for people who lost their houses in Lahaina or living on the beach. They can always go to Shaka Detailing and go get some supplies. Whether it's down to food, diapers, or anything, and they're still running it. They're probably the only pod that's open left. Still open,
running.
Still running, and because it's Kanaka fueled, it's not state fueled, it's not government fueled. It's straight up small business owner that continues to give back and does for the community. Shaka Detailing, I get all my vehicles detailed from them. Like 6 vehicles that they do every single month. And they're really great people.
If you guys are interested in being on the Maui Business Podcast, feel free to reach out to us down below. We have a link in the description where you can go ahead and apply to work with us. It is an invite-only type of thing, so make sure that you are reaching out to us, and we can see if you're qualified to be on the podcast episode. So with that being said, Duke, do you have anything else that you would like to say as far as a closing statement to the viewers?
Just go for your dreams, guys. Just continue to chip away at it, continue to strive, continue to make right choices, continue to just be on top, continue to be on top.
Cool. Awesome. All right, Duke, thank you for your time. Appreciate you. God bless.
Thank you.
Have a good one, okay?
You too.
Awesome.
Right on. Killer.
All right, guys.